Good morning, guys. Welcome to week 7. Can you believe that we're already at week 7? I feel like that's crazy to me. This morning, I'm out here doing some hill repeats. It's been a while since I've done hill repeats and I haven't done them at all in Eugene. So I'm venturing out to find my hill. Just finished the warm-up. Today's workout was 2 miles warm-up, 6 by 300 meter hill at 10K pace. And then 2 mile cool down. Gonna be getting into these hill charges in a sec. So let's get into it. Hill repeats are so hard. The first 2 are done. I went out way too hard for those 2. I got a little too excited. I need to slow it down, stick to my paces. Last stretch. Hill repeats are all done. Now I'm just cooling down. I saw this video yesterday from Izzy Sadel, and it was like the year is 2011. You just rolled up your Nike shorts and put on a cotton cross-country t-shirt. You're listening to Flow Rida Club Can't Handle Me on your pink iPod. It inspired me. It's time to listen to the music that I listened to when I was in high school and I did cross-country. So yeah, the streets of Eugene can't handle me. The repeats are so hard. Hey, happy Thursday. I took yesterday off as a rest day. Was gonna lift yesterday but couldn't get it in. So that means today I am going for a run and doing a lift. I'm hitting Pre's trails. I'm gonna run back, have a snack, and then go do my lift. I'm doing a little less than 5 miles. The first time I ever ran these trails was in 2016 when the track Olympic trials were going on. Me and my family came to volunteer. I still have a picture of me at probably 15 running across the bridge that I went over today, and it's a fun little trip down memory lane. That trip is kind of what inspired me to move here, so it's kind of like a full circle moment. All done. Granola bar. I definitely went in with a plan of where I was gonna run and completely did not follow it, but those end up being some of the most fun runs because then you get to explore the geography of your town or wherever you are. Now onto the lift. Probably just gonna do some squats, a little bit of core, and then I'll be out of there. Hey, happy Friday. Doing 4-ish easy recovery miles in the rain, feeling wet and cold. Let's get back inside and I'll make dinner and we can chat. All right, I'm back from my run. It was a wet one for sure. I'm gonna cook dinner. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've done any cooking on this channel. I feel like when I did my rowing vlogs, I used to cook all the time. So I'm gonna make enchiladas tonight. Let me show you what I have. Got a rotisserie chicken from Costco. It was huge, so I have tons of leftovers. So I just shredded it up and put it in a container. I have the enchilada sauce from Trader Joe's, corn tortillas, Mexican cheese, and then last thing I have is an onion. I'm gonna dice this up and throw that in the enchiladas. We can do a little bit of chatting and catching up while I chop these onions and try not to cry. Let's talk about how training's going because we're 7 weeks in. We're gonna hit the halfway mark in about 3 weeks or so. A couple weeks ago, I definitely ran into some roadblocks during training. I have been really busy with work, have been traveling and driving a lot to the point where like it was really hard to still get my training in. So I kind of just had to do what I could, cut back on mileage. Right after that, there was a huge winter storm that came in through Oregon. Everything just completely froze. The streets were completely frozen. They don't really de-ice the streets here because it doesn't happen that often. I couldn't run outside unless I wanted to slip and hurt myself. And really my only option was just to use the treadmill, but even walking to the gym at my apartment complex was a challenge. I had to put on my trail shoes. Those have the best traction out of any shoes I own. Still almost slipped a few times, but was able to get like 1 run in. I felt like I was going insane without being able to exercise. It's times like those where I realize how much exercise really impacts my mental health. It's more than just putting in all the miles so I can run the marathon. My eyes are starting to sting from these onions. Well, I would say usually I'm pretty consistent when it comes to my training. If you ask like any of my rowing teammates about how I did when when training during the off season, I think they would pretty much all tell you that I would do a good job. I feel like I'm known for like sticking to a plan. So during those couple weeks when I just really couldn't follow the plan, I don't know, I just felt really down on myself. I didn't really have any other option when I really think about it. I don't know if it's just like a former student athlete syndrome or something. I just had a really hard time with the fact that I like couldn't keep up with this plan, and it was making me feel really bad. I really had to just take some time, remind myself that it's not the end of the world missing 1 or 2 weeks of a training schedule. It's actually fine, and I'm pretty sure that most training plans are created with the fact in mind that most people are busy and have regular lives and probably will miss some workouts here and there. I'm also like, running this marathon is really not that serious. I'm doing it for fun. But at the end of the day, I think it's sometimes hard for me to remember that the training is supposed to serve me. I don't exist to serve the training, if that makes sense. And maybe it is one of those like college athlete things where you really identify with the sport that you do and all the training that goes with it, but just trying to like take a step back and de-identify with that and remember that this is for me, this is supposed to make me feel better, not feel bad, has been very important. It's definitely a learning experience. I've realized now, having some good training last week and this week, it's really not the end of the world. I felt like I lost a small amount of fitness, but I feel like at this point I've pretty much gained it back. Let me know if this is something that you also struggle with, if I have any like former college athletes out there, but it's definitely something that I've been dealing with, and I don't think that it's uncommon for people who have been in competitive sports for a long time. Onions are chopped. I'm gonna put a lid on this to stop the fumes from spewing so I can protect my eyes. So I have my like assembly line set up, so I have my pan that's heated. If you heard like creaking noises when I was talking, it was the pan heating up. I have my enchilada sauce poured in this container. This is the container that all the enchiladas are gonna go into. And then my chicken, onions, and cheese to fill. I'm also preheating my oven to 350. That should be ready pretty soon. So once everything's in the container, it's gonna go in the oven for a little bit. Okay, all the enchiladas are in the container. I'm just gonna pour the rest of the sauce in and sprinkle some extra cheese on top, and then these bad boys are going in the oven for probably like 10 or 12 minutes. And now I am left to clean up the aftermath. These just came out of the oven. They look so good, so I can't wait to grab some of this and eat. Good morning. I'm getting ready for my long run today. It's Sunday. I'm having some oatmeal for breakfast, and then I'm gonna pack up my vest. I have my water bottles filled up. Other exciting news before I head out, I got a brand new pair of shoes. I'm so excited. I got a pair of the Glycerin GTS. I've tried the Brooks Glycerin before. I love them, but I did want a little bit more stability. I bought them off of this website called Relay Run. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I bought like 3 pairs of shoes from them. I think they basically take like open box shoes that people ordered and ended up sending back but not using. This is my 3rd pair of shoes that I've ordered from them, so if you're wondering if they're legit, I have had a good experience with them. It's definitely too warm to be wearing a long sleeve. That's gonna be a problem. Plan for today is 3-mile warm-up followed by 2 miles at marathon pace with 2 to 3 minutes rest, and then 2-mile cool down, so that's 13 total. I'm almost done with my warm-up here at 2.8, so we're gonna get started on these intervals in a minute. I'm done with those first 2 intervals. Those intervals were so hilly. We have like 1 more big climb of this run, and then we'll be back to flat. Here we go, 2 more sets. Also, long sleeve had to come off, it was too hot. Downhills are the absolute best though, and they maybe almost make the ups worth it. That's 13.7. I'm so exhausted, I want this to be done. Alright, well, that brings me to the end of the week. I feel like that run went so well for the first 11 miles. I was like, wow, I feel amazing. I could run like 6 more miles after this. And then I hit mile 12 and was like, I can't do this anymore. My legs hurt so bad from running the hills. I was just exhausted. I think that's what happens when you go out a little too hard. I went out way too hard. Got a little too excited. You know, I'm glad I got it done. I still feel like splitting up the run into intervals is a really great way to approach it mentally. 13 miles straight, no breaking it up. That's so much harder to approach mentally. I'm gonna go home, have a huge meal, probably take a nap and hydrate because it was also a lot warmer than what I'm used to, so I think I lost a lot of fluids today. And one last thing, I think the shoes were awesome. It was just time to switch out my shoes. Those other ones were getting kind of old. I should show a picture of them. They look trashed, but these ones I felt very fresh. My joints feel great. And the power of new shoes never fails. Anyways, thanks for watching along. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks for probably week 9 or 10. See you later. Bye.